You know, when you hear someone speaking a language, maybe in a film or just, out and about, and they just sound so natural, their words just flow together.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's that smooth rhythm. You wish you could capture that, right? Sound less like you're reading a script in your head.
Exactly. Less like piecing things together. And well, today we're doing a deep dive into a technique that people say can help you do just that. It's called language shadowing.
Right, shadowing. We've pulled together some really interesting stuff for this.
Yeah, we have. We've got insights from Fluency, a study from a university in Vietnam looking at how effective it is, tips from coaches like English with Lucy, the English coach.
Mm-hmm. And also some strategic thinking from Dr. Julian Northbrook, plus real experiences from places like Reddit forums. Always good to get those ground level views.
Totally. So our goal here is basically to sift through all this and pull out the key stuff. We want you to really get what shadowing is, how it actually works, why it works.
And the practical steps, how you can actually start using it yourself to sound more authentic. Think of it as your shortcut to understanding this powerful technique.
Okay, let's jump in. Segment 1. What is language shadowing? Can we get like a simple definition?
Yeah, the core idea is pretty straightforward. It's repeating aloud what you hear someone say, word for word, almost immediately, like with the smallest delay possible.
Okay, so like being an echo, a parrot.
Yeah, like a parrot, but a parrot with a purpose. You're not just mimicking sounds randomly, you're trying to learn.
Got it. And someone actually developed this into a proper method, right?
That's right. Linguist and polyglot Alexander Arguelles, he's credited with really structuring it. His definition involves listening to the language and simultaneously echoing it back.
Simultaneously.
Yeah. And crucially, it's not just about getting the words right. The real focus, the deep work, is matching the speaker's sounds, the rhythm, the intonation, the ups and downs in their voice, the whole pattern of their speech.
The melody, kind of.
Exactly. You nailed it. It's the melody, not just the notes.
Okay, I think I get that. But listening, understanding, and speaking all at the same time. That sounds really intense for your brain. Like, wouldn't you just get overloaded?
You'd think so, wouldn't you? But here's the fascinating part, the real aha moment. That simultaneous effort is precisely why it works so well.
Okay.
Normally, our brain does things sequentially, right? Listen first, then understand, then figure out how to speak. Shadowing forces all those processes to happen pretty much at once.
Right.
And by doing that, you're actively engaging and strengthening your working memory, your short-term memory. It actually helps streamline how your brain handles language.
So it makes processing more efficient rather than just adding more load.
Exactly. It helps counter that feeling of being swamped by information when you're trying to speak a new language. It's like you're upgrading the processing speed.
That's really interesting. So it's not just repeating. There's some serious cognitive stuff going on. Which brings us to the why. Why become a shadow? What are the big payoffs?
Well, the benefits are pretty wide-ranging, touching on basically all the core speaking skills.
Okay, like pronunciation, that seems like the most obvious one.
Definitely. It directly helps you mimic native sounds, understand stress patterns, intonation. It helps you adopt that natural flow so you sound less, textbook-ish.
Right. Less robotic.
Exactly. And it gets into subtle things too. English with Lucy mentions stuff like the schwa sound, that little sound in unstressed syllables. Super common in English, but learners often overpronounce it.
Yeah, like the in about.
Precisely. Or elision, where sounds get dropped naturally, like saying do know instead of do not know, or will and I instead of will and I.
Okay. things that make speech flow.
Right. And weak forms of common words where they're unstressed and sound different than when you say them alone, getting those right makes a huge difference in sounding natural.
So it really drills down into the nitty-gritty of sounds. What else? Fluency, confidence.
Big time. Because you're practicing speaking smoothly, without long pauses or hesitations, you build that muscle memory. It becomes more automatic.
And it feels less scary, maybe.
Yeah, it's a lower pressure way to practice the physical act of speaking. You're not trying to come up with brilliant ideas, just match the sounds. That repetition really builds confidence over time.
Okay, that makes sense. And listening. Does it help you understand better too?
It does, yeah. Because you're so focused on the incoming sounds, you're actively training your brain to process spoken language faster. You start recognizing words and phrases more easily, even when people speak quickly.
So it sharpens your ear.
Definitely. And finally, you end up absorbing vocabulary and grammar almost by osmosis. Through all that repetition, common phrases, collocations, words that naturally go together, they start to feel more natural.
So words just pop into your head in the right context.
Pretty much. You develop a sort of muscle memory for sentence structures, too. It helps internalize the language's rhythm and melody, not just isolated facts about it.
It really sounds like learning to ride a bike by actually doing it, not just reading about it.
That's a great analogy. It's active, it's physical in a way.
Okay, so it sounds powerful, but is it right for everyone? Who benefits most?
Well, the sources suggest it's especially good for auditory learners, obviously. People who learn well by listening. Also, students who like structured plans and polyglots often take to it quickly.
People already used to juggling languages.
Right. But honestly, FluU also points out it can just be a great way to shake up your routine. If your study plan feels a bit stale, this can definitely energize it.
But there are caveats, right? It's not a magic wand.
Absolutely not. Dr. Julian Northbrook makes a really important distinction. He stresses that shadowing is primarily an exercise. It's for developing physical fluency, the motor skills of speaking, getting your mouth to make the right shapes.
Okay, but the mechanics.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But fluency involves more, right? Like knowing chunks of language, being able to activate them quickly, reducing the mental load. If your main problem isn't the physical production of sounds, shadowing might not be the most direct solution.
He uses an analogy, doesn't he?
Yeah, the screwdriver for a nail. If you need a hammer, the screwdriver isn't the right tool, even if it's a great screwdriver. You need to diagnose your specific issue first.
That makes sense. Use the right tool for the right job. And there was another warning, too, wasn't there? About starting too early.
Yes, this came up in Reddit discussions and a piece from Refold. They talk about needing level 5 comprehension.
Level 5, what does that mean?
It basically means you can clearly hear and distinguish every single word the native speaker is saying, even when they speak naturally. It's not just getting the general idea.
Ah, okay, real clarity.
Right, because if you can't hear the sounds accurately, what are you mimicking? You risk practicing and reinforcing the wrong pronunciation. You're building bad muscle memory.
Ouch. So it could actually make things worse if you jump in before you're ready.
Potentially, yeah. It could ingrain errors that are harder to fix later. So understanding your current level and what you can realistically perceive is really crucial.
So bottom line, powerful tool, but know when and why you're using it. Don't just jump in blind.
Exactly. Assess your needs first.
All right, let's shift gears. For someone who's decided shadowing is right for them, how do they actually do it successfully? What are the steps?
Okay, so synthesizing advice from Argyles, Northbrook, FluentU, Ondoku, all of them. Step 1 is crucial. Choose your audio resource very carefully.
Right. What makes a good resource?
Couple of key things. It should be slightly above your current level. Challenging, but not totally overwhelming.
Like the sweet spot for learning.
Exactly. And non-negotiable. You need a transcript. Ideally, especially early on, one with the translation into your native language too. That text is your anchor.
Okay. Transcript is essential.
And the speaker.
Needs to be a native speaker, obviously, with clear, natural pronunciation. You want a good model to copy.
Makes sense. What kind of things work well? Audiobooks, podcasts, all of those. Audiobooks often have professional narration, sometimes a bit slower paced. Podcasts are great for conversational language, everyday phrases.
Like the English we speak, maybe?
Yeah, things like that. Videos, movies, TED Talks are also great because you get the visual context too. YouTube channels like BBC Learning English. Lots of options.
And there's a cool tech tip too, right? Using AI.
Oh yeah, Ondoku mentioned this. You can use AI text-to-speech services. You paste in any text you're interested in, an article, a story, whatever. Then you generate audio with a native sounding voice.
Wow.
And you can often choose accents, US, UK, Australian, and here's the kicker. You can adjust the playback speed. Like slow it right down to maybe 0.5x or even 0.3x speed for really intensive practice on tricky parts.
That sounds incredibly useful for drilling down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you've got your audio and transcript. What's next?
Here's a neat tip from FluentU. Before you even try the foreign language, try shadowing in your native language first.
Really?
Just record yourself talking normally for a minute, then play it back and try to shadow yourself. It helps you get used to that slightly weird feeling of talking and listening at the same time without the added difficulty of a new language. It's like a warm-up for the technique itself.
Never thought of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so warm-up done. Now for the real thing.
Right. First, just listen. Put on headphones, play the section you've chosen a couple of times. Don't try to speak. Don't look at the script yet. Just focus purely on the sounds, the rhythm, the intonation. Get a feel for it.
Absorb the melody first.
Exactly. Then, step 4. Shadow while reading the transcript in the target language. Play the audio, have the script in front of you, and mimic the speaker simultaneously.
Okay, now you're speaking along with the text.
Yeah. And pay close attention to that chunking. We mentioned how words blend together, like want to becomes wanna, and the prosody, the stress, rhythm, intonation of the whole phrase.
Like those examples you gave before linking sounds. Sounds changing.
Right. Catenation, assimilation, intrusion. You're actively trying to replicate all those natural features while following the text.
Got it. And you mentioned using the English translation sometimes.
Yeah, that's step 5, kind of optional or for earlier stages. Shadowing while reading the translation can help connect the meaning directly to the sounds you're making. Good for global understanding.
Okay. And then the next step is ditching the script.
Eventually, yes. Step 6, shadow without the transcript. Once you feel comfortable with the text version, try just listening to the audio and repeating. The goal here is to follow along while also understanding the meaning.
That sounds like the real test.
It is. And then there's one more, slightly unconventional step, highly recommended by our gal.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
Walk around while you do it.
Walk. Seriously.
Seriously.
You know,
He argued that walking or pacing while shadowing actually enhances focus and discipline, stops you from just zoning out, maintain good posture, speak clearly and loudly. It sounds a bit strange, but the idea is that the physical movement keeps you more engaged, more alert.
That's fascinating. Most people study sitting down, right? But maybe adding movement actually helps embed the language better.
Could be. It makes it a more active, whole-body experience. It connects the physical act of speaking with movement and focus. Definitely worth experimenting with.
Okay, so that's the core process. Choose audio, warm up, listen, shadow with script, maybe with translation, shadow without script, and walk around.
That's the sequence. It's designed to build up the skill progressively.
Makes sense. Now, once you're doing it, how do you get better? How do you refine it and fix problems?
One of the single most powerful tools here, mentioned by almost everyone, Reddit users, coaches, Ondoku, is recording yourself.
Ah, yes, the dreaded self-recording.
Dreaded but effective. The method is simple. Record yourself shadowing a piece of audio. Then listen back to your recording and compare it side by side with the original native speaker audio.
Okay, compare and contrast. What are you listening for specifically?
You're checking everything. Clarity, your tone versus theirs, the speed. Tricky sounds, maybe you struggle with R and L or the sounds. Check word stress, sentence intonation, the overall rhythm.
Use headphones for this.
Definitely recommended. Helps you hear the details in both recordings much more clearly.
So even if it feels awkward, hearing yourself objectively like that is key. It creates a feedback loop.
Precisely. It's like having an objective coach pointing out exactly where you differ from the model. You might think you sound right, but the recording doesn't lie. It helps you pinpoint subtle errors you'd otherwise completely miss.
That makes sense. It forces you to confront reality, I guess. What else helps?
Consistency. Can't stress this enough. Every source says practice daily. Even 10 or 15 minutes is way, way better than one long session once a week.
It's a habit thing.
Totally. Michael Johnson and Ondoku both frame it as a marathon, not a sprint. Short, regular bursts build the skill and the habit over time.
And start easy, then get harder.
Yeah, gradual increase in difficulty. Start with slower, clearer audio. Master that rhythm and sound. Then move to faster, more complex stuff. Don't rush ahead before you've really nailed a level.
Okay. And is there anything beyond basic shadowing? Like for advanced learners?
Yeah, there's something called parashadowing.
Parashadowing.
Instead of just imitating the exact words, you listen and then immediately restate the idea in different words while still trying to maintain the rhythm and flow.
Oh, wow. Okay. Example.
So if the audio says, I'm really excited about the upcoming concert, you might quickly restate it as you shadow, like, I'm very happy about the concert that will happen soon, or I'm looking forward to the show.
So that forces you to process the meaning and think on your feet in the target language.
Exactly. It boosts your processing, really pushes you to think in the language, and expands your active vocabulary for expressing the same idea in multiple ways. It's a serious workout.
Sounds intense. And what about common problems? Like, what if you just can't keep up?
Simple fix, usually. Slow down the audio playback. Tools like Ondoku let you go down to 0.5x or even 0.3x speed. Find a speed where you can keep up, then gradually increase it.
Okay. What if you literally can't hear or make a specific sound?
Then you might need to pause the shadowing for a bit and do some targeted pronunciation practice just on that sound. Look up videos or exercises specifically for, say, the English the, then come back to shadowing.
Makes sense. And long sentences. Complex grammar.
Break them down. Don't try to shadow the whole massive sentence at once. Focus on shadowing smaller, meaningful chunks or phrases within the sentence. Reduces the mental load.
Chunking again.
Always comes back to chunking.
Yeah.
And if you just lose motivation,
Yeah, that happens.
the key is the daily habit. Even if you only manage 5 minutes some days, doing something keeps the momentum going. Don't aim for perfection, aim for consistency.
Great advice. So wrapping up, this deep dive really shows that language shadowing, when you use it right, is this incredibly powerful technique. It hits pronunciation, accent, fluency, listening, even that natural rhythm.
It really does. It gets to the core of how language sounds and feels, not just what the words mean on paper. It forces that active, simultaneous processing.
And thinking about this whole idea of active mimicry, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? Could this apply beyond language?
That's a really interesting thought. How might you shadow something else, like a skill at work or even a hobby?
Yeah. Could you meticulously imitate an expert's process or their movements or how they make decisions even before you totally get the theory behind it?
Like building muscle memory for a golf swing by mimicking a pro or learning code by typing out examples exactly. It's a compelling idea, building that intuitive understanding through direct imitation first.
A fascinating angle to consider. It really highlights the power of doing, of mimicking as a path to mastery.
Definitely something to chew on.
So we really encourage you, give shadowing a try this week. Find a short bit of audio you like, could be a podcast clip, a scene from a movie, maybe generate something with one of those AI tools and just start. Start your journey to sounding more like a native speaker.